Hello. Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein in the Road to 100, where today we are, interestingly enough, we're going to play with one of the best one-handed swords that you can possibly get to in Code Vein, and we're going to pair it with one of the most underutilized blood codes for most of the game, actually. Now, the reason Assassin is usually underused is because as soon as you get to the point where you can have Heimdall, you'll notice that for everything that Assassin can do, Heimdall is literally better with pretty much no downside in every single category. It has higher dex, higher mind, higher fortitude, more balance, more ichor, and more stamina, and just more damage and everything because all the skills are higher. It does have a slightly less amount of weight limit, but the 58, those three weight units don't actually matter too much, so I am going to make them matter as much as I can here by showing you that I can get right to the 58 mark pretty much with a very, very, very heavy hitting weapon. But you'll notice that most of this build is completely broken and not usable, and so we have one passive here to give, and it's mind and willpower up, and then everything is active. Because we have a D plus and we need a C in mind, and we have a C plus and we need a B in willpower, and as soon as we do that, everything works just peachy keen. So this is where Assassin is kind of utilized the most, is early on in the game, but once you get later game, and if you finish the game even once, Assassin kind of becomes null and void, except for the gifts that it has. Sharpened Fangs is a 30% increase to your backstab damage, which is very, very nice. Numbing Mark, which we're going to use, it increases your stun on your weapon, and it has a very long cooldown, but it's very useful for something like what we're doing here with debuff buildup active. Stun Trap, that's also helpful, lasts 10 seconds on the ground. Overdrive is a 25% increase to your regular damage if you do not get hit. Merciless Reaper is probably one of the most broken gifts, along with Supernatural Blood, in the entire game. Concentration is exceptional as a 33% reduction in your stamina usage. Night Stalker is amazing in the Crypt Spire, and Shadow Assault is a 2x multiplier for weapons, bayonets or halberds or one-handed swords, and it's a pretty decent, quick, fast little gift. It's nothing too incredibly amazing, but overall it's a pretty fast, simple kind of gift. So the gifts that Assassin offers are very, 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 very good. However, the blood code itself is completely superseded by Heimdall once you get there. So we are going to make good use of it here today. And the nice thing about Assassin is it's one of the very, 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 very few blood codes in the game that naturally can make use of morale boost on its own by itself. So we're going to take morale boost because we have the opportunity to, and so we might as well make great use of it while we can. So and the very, very nice thing here is that we are innately quick mobility, so that's very, 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 very nice that we are constantly able to be quick at a moment's notice regardless of what we are doing. So we'll wait for Big Boy to drop down. Now we don't really have any massive kind of incentives to get backstabs here. Whoa. Because we don't really get that much ichor back from a backstab, and so it's kind of in our best interest to actually use our weapon as much as we possibly can. So it is good though for canceling frame data from the enemy, so that is where we are definitely going to use our backstabs Oops. Oh boy. Okay, we kind of got stuck there. Now, this is one of the few places in the game where you can use Dusk Edge to great effect. And the very, very, very nice part of Dusk Edge is that since it is a blood gift, it's able to kind of cross-pollinate here with what is that? Aurora's Aurora. What is the ice one? I forget. Aurora Flash. That's it. But Aurora Flash, it is an ice, and it's a mind gift that takes willpower, and so it's kind of interesting how that one operates. But for what we are doing here, this is going to be the most appropriate for how we are going about engaging. And because the Insatiable Despot is weak to blood, it makes more sense to bring along the Blood Blade here. And for these guys as well, it takes them out in one hit. It's a very, very fast gift, and it's pretty low I-Core at 5, so that's very, very nice. The problem being is that we don't have a lot of I-Core most of the time. And so it's very, very important that we use our sword as much as possible to get I-Core back, because that's really one of the very, very, very few ways that we have at the moment to actually get any kind of I-Core back. So we will have to go for a few attacks before we even get to the point where we can even cast other gifts along the way. And as you can see, every time you get enough I-Core, it is in your best interest to go for using another gift and keep your I-Core count low, just because of the fact that you're not going to have a very high cap on I-Core, so it's important to use the I-Core as you get it in order to make good use of your build and be as efficient as possible. And they're using Circulating Pulse because it has 5 attacks in one gift, and because we are triple gift accelerated here, it makes for a very, very great way to apply a lot of stun all at once. And you'll see in the Despot fight that is going to come in exceptionally handy and useful, because we are going to be going up against a lot of very fast hitting attacks from the Despot, especially when we are underneath him. He hits very, very fast and very, very frequently. Okay, that guy's on a journey there. Okay, and so that is going to be a very, 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 very effective way to kind of attack the Despot while at the same time, while at the same time getting damage out on him wherever we want to. Okay, we will be careful, don't you worry there, Eva. Okay, so it's very, very, very nice that we can use the assassin blood code here for kind of all our needs, whatever we're doing here, and it makes for a great way to go about engaging the enemy. It's a pretty good blood code, all things considered. However, remember the problem with it is that it is completely superseded by Heimdall later in the game. So keep that in mind if you are thinking of assassin. Just remember that Heimdall does everything it does, but better. But as a blood code here at this point in the game, it does do what it needs to do very well, which is great. And that's all you really need it to do, is just be a pretty average dex based build, and that is what it can do, and that is what it does do very, very well for where it lands itself in the game. Typically you have Atlas, which is a strength build, and you have a couple other items or a couple other blood codes that are giving you the option to typically use strength. And sometimes you will think to use what is that? Prometheus. But a lot of times there's really no reason to go for Prometheus when you have what is this? Assassin, just because of the fact that you know, it can do everything that it needs to while not being any kind of exceptional problem child. Okay. And as you can see there, we can apply a lot of stun very fast to the death spot, even though we are kind of outclassed here by if we get hit by him. As you can see there, we get hit once and we're just completely toast. But we can stun him fairly easily, and we're able to get several stuns out on him, which is kind of difficult to do because he's constantly running around in a whole bunch of different ways. And we got 372,000 haze for that, so that's a pretty good amount for this early in the game. Our wings are gone, but our hair is not. How excellent. That is thanks to the cutscene. That cutscene in specific removes a lot of accessories that are available to you. And here we get Darkseeker. Not exactly the most important thing for now, but using Assassin can definitely be a pretty good blood code if you are built out in such a way. Now, the other good one-handed swords that you could go for if you have it are the Crimson Longsword. This is pretty balanced overall in terms of stat scaling, strength, dex, mind, willpower, so on and so forth. Also, if you want to, you can go for the Enduring Crimson. This is a very good one. The Hanamakuro is specifically meant for a dex type of setup. It's a pretty good blade, however it is a katana style where it does a pattern after a katana where it does a 4-slash attack. On that 4th slash you do get 25% increase to your final hit. However, you know, you do have a pause break that you have to take into account that stops your attacks. Now, the Queenslayer blade might be a good alternative, just because it does have a C+, however it is more based on strength. But if you don't have the oh my goodness, man, my brains are failing me today. If you don't have the Executioner, definitely go for the Hanamakuro. But if you don't have either of those or you don't like them, the Enduring Crimson is a good, fairly balanced overall sword for both strength and dex, so you can go either way with this. Louis' trusty sidearm, and that is because Prometheus is balanced in both B plus strength and dex, so his sword matches his blood code pretty well. So there are some other options there, but if you build it out for the Executioner, since the Executioner is a dex blade through and through, and if you go for the Intensified, obviously it goes much higher at an A+, but there's nothing like the Executioner in the dex space, and so if you're going for something like Assassin, the Executioner just makes really good sense. And again, if you don't have Assassin or you don't like it, you can use Heimdall, and basically it does everything better. And plus it has Sacrificial Edge, so even better still. But this little build here, it doesn't do too bad for this area of the game in how we go about handling ourselves. And so with that, we'll be in the Howling Pit next. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this you found engaging enough to go ahead and try the Executioner with this kind of a setup here, based on status debuffs and trying to match up the idea of complete slash. We have slash in our blood veil, we have slash in our weapon, and we have slash in our gifts. So overall, it works out fairly well, but it is very specialized to this area alone. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.